Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live on this Thursday. We've got a lot to talk about. You see that headline, and I think Kevin Lang in the chat is right. I think Scottie Pippen out here trying to boost them book sales. You guys who are true crime junkies, make sure you to the end because I got a crazy what we not going to do. I can't wait to tell you all about that. But before we get into all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at Boom, Jackie Ray TV. We got it.
Hey, it's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K. Yes, there it is. Jackie Ray TV. What's up?
Back in it. Back in it. I can't wait to get into the post up because this one's going to be fun to see how the chat is going to respond. So look at you look at your cup already.
Yeah, I got a new mug. Shout out to Michael Scott. If y'all know The Office.
I love it. I love it. I have a mug too. It's
what we got?
Picture. See my mom and my dad.
Aw, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Now I'm here with my little jokey mug, and you over here with the sentiment. Now I feel terrible. Mine's saying I'm done. Like, oh man.
Look, I'll turn it around. No more shade. No more
there
shade. It is. All right, y'all. Let's dive into this first need to know news story because we've talked about this over and over again, and it seems like most of us are in agreement that this taunting rule is just ridiculous. It really doesn't have place in football. It's always weird to me that we expect people who play a violent sport, let's just call it what it is, to all of a sudden behave like choir boys. That's always been weird to me. I think taunting is part of it. When you lay down a big hit and you feel good about it, I don't think it's necessarily taunting when you celebrate in that moment. But apparently, one coach specifically, meaning Mike Tomlin, disagrees with that. And he thinks that this taunting rule is actually great. So let me throw up his quote. The Steelers' Mike Tomlin, a member of the NFL competition committee, says he is a fan of the taunting flags. Says we're just trying to clean up our game, and we understand that people playing at a lower level watch us and often mimic us and how we conduct ourselves. So this didn't get a ton of response, but the responses that it did get were kind of weird. So I'm going to show you this one. This first person says, "This is the voice of reason. Why do stupid people never understand reality? There is zero reason to taunt. Do that thing and then get back in the effing huddle. It's not an individual sport, and taunting only stains the game's image." Okay. That's a lot, especially when you're talking about football. You're talking about all the stains that come with that. But okay, let's get to this next one. I think I have one more. It says, respect. Now, this one is weird because I'm hoping he's lying, but if he's not, this is the problem. Says, respect, coach. No place for that sort of crap in our beautiful sport of football. My son taunted in his Pee-wee football game on Sunday after scoring his 10th touchdown of the game, and I immediately kicked him off the team and haven't spoken to him since. Now, people did come at him, and he basically doubled down on it. He says, no, I expect excellent from my son on the field and off the field. We'll talk at practice, but I'm not talking to him right now because that is his punishment for acting a fool on the field. Chris, take all that in. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you think that Mike Tomlin has a point? Like, how does he see this game?
Uncle T, man, that's my guy. You know, Sean Payton is at the tippity top of the list for me, and he always will be. And then right next to him is always Mike Tomlin, is one of my favorite coaches. This one, especially for who he coaches, right, how that team is run, because that team has been one of the grittiest teams in the history of the sport, one of the toughest teams, one of the, you know, that's been their MO. You know, so for him to come out and say this, I've been trying to, like, well, maybe he means, well, probably in this sense, I don't have any of that. I hate it. I hate the call because the game is an emotional game. It is I get it from the standpoint where one thing that used to always trigger me with Cam Newton, and that this is Panthers Cam Newton. So I'm sorry. If you're in our division, I always had some kind of hate. But one thing that used to trigger me about Cam Newton is every first down, he had some kind of crazy dancing celebration do. That got under my skin a little bit. Once he left the Panthers, then I didn't really bother me too much. I was like, it's kind of cool. But so from that standpoint, like, I kind of get it. But even then, I still think it's soft. Like it's just soft. And to have these tweets to come in and respond and what he said about his son, and it's soft. It's an emotional game. It is. I hate the fact that these players feel like they have to, like, hold it in when they're feeling hyped. Like, I will never forget that play that we watched here when you were doing post up, and we watched the dude take an entire team with him, celebrate and got a flag. Like it's just to me it's soft. So there's no like and buts or anything that I can find that I can kind of agree with. It's soft. Like it's just a part of the game. I don't know. And none of these, I don't think any of these players have been doing it maliciously. If that's what they're trying to get at, I've never seen it so malicious. And even when it is malicious, it brings that rivalry back to the game. I don't know. It's just soft overall. And to come from Mike Tomlin, it's just weird. He was the last person I would expect to come out and say that. And to me, personally.
I'm with you on that. Like you said, if you carry the whole, defensive line with you for 10 yards and you celebrate, I think that's fine. I think if you lay down a big hit on a quarterback, especially a quarterback like Big Ben, and that's the other thing. The Steelers haven't actually received one taunting flag this season, but they have benefited from a taunting flag. So on Monday, they won that game 29-27. But I want you to see this big hit on Big Ben that I thought was great. I also thought the celebration by Cassis afterwards was fine, but he got the flag for this, and that ultimately turned the tide. So take a look at this and let me know if y'all think this is really worth a flag.
And now he's taken down. Cassius Marsh.
Wait, that's the one that got the flag?
Yeah, so it got the flag, and then then the penalty. So you see the score right now; it's 20-23. So they got the penalty, and it's what I think it's third down right now. Now it's fourth down. But it wasn't ultimately fourth down because with the penalty, then, they ended up getting the first down because of the roundhouse.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with this getting to a quarterback. And,
it was quick. I have no beef with this. That's why I was surprised that was the play. I was expecting something after, like maybe the roundhouse kick, and then he like pumped a few times. But no, he just did the kick and that was a huge sack. It was like you just mentioned. It got them to fourth down, meaning they were going to have to punt the ball away because they were down by 3. So that was a big play. Like that's what I'm talking about. That's way too damn soft. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just like the chat was just saying, and like I've been saying, it's just weird that it's coming from Mike Tomlin like that. He's the last person I thought would have said something.
Yeah, I mean, I saw bits and pieces of that game. I didn't see the whole game, but somebody just said that he did the roundhouse kick a couple more times. I mean, even still, though, first of all, I can't do a roundhouse kick, so I was just more impressed with that situation than anything else. And then second of all, I just don't, I mean, at this point, if this is how soft we're going to be, we might as well just play flag football, because I just think that with every season, we're just dumbing down the game even more. And at some point, it's just not even going to be worth a watch. I mean, it's already teetering on that now. So I just don't like how soft, but that's the way our society is going in general. It's just really soft people in the world, and we've got to accommodate them. So that's what it is. So that's all I got for Need to Know News. It's a depressing way to go into the post up. But Chris, lift our spirits with some more nonsense during the post up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this Thursday edition of Post Up a Vision. What is a vision? I don't know. But what's going on, y'all? Yeah, man, I don't say it often, but we did not need to know that because that made me so upset. Like that is so. Damn it, Mike Tomlin. Anyways, you still one of my favorites. I don't care. That we'll take that one. We'll move on. But we got it's okay because I'm gonna make you guys laugh here because this I found so funny because I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a spoof. I thought it was a Photoshop. I thought someone made this up. But do you guys remember a few All-Stars ago? I think it was when it was in LA. Yeah, it was when it was in LA when Fergie came out and sang the Star Spangled Banner, or her version of the Star Spangled Banner, and it got memed. We saw the faces, the reactions, and all that jazz. Well, somebody, an artist, made it into a book because she said the word so wrong. They put it all together and made this amazing picture book. It's really good. I don't know how much of it we can play with the audio, but I really would like for us to see every page because it's hilarious. So we put that up before we get
FERGIE.
That's good stuff. Come on. Yeah, no, it's a cute start. What do you mean? So proud. Oh my god. Gleaming. Sing it, Jackie. With the bad words.
bad. Broad strike through the pair. I do remember when she said that pair roll us by. Oh, okay. I like the fine. Or the startled cat. Oh my God. Wait, watch. I just want to get to the part where she was like,
yeah.
was dreaming. And the Rock. She just said, kids, red glare. Can we turn the music back on just in time for that one part where she goes, whoa.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What? This picture's the one. He tripped on the rock. I just saw the kid falling. Oh man.
Oh God. Yeah. Bless her heart.
Yeah, and they did the whole thing. It's pretty much done, but
she just needs to sing it again. She needs to sing
it
again.
Accept it, man.
If she sings it again and she sings it right and it sounds and she's on key, then we'll forget this moment in time. She has to do it again.
Nah, she needs to embrace it. Well, you know, the one team that with the remix that we heard, they did a whole dance about it. It was the Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry saw this post and he was a big fan. He said, quite honestly, the best thing I have ever seen. No cap. It really was. Because I thought it was fake. I'm like, no, this dude just made one. But then if you look, there's a whole link and this book is being sold. I almost want to buy it. I wish it was like an audio kind of thing where like when you open the pages, the words come with it. That'd be gold. But yeah, I thought this was so creative. Like a favorite one personally was the kid falling because he's just all happy with the flag. Trips on the rock and for 3 pages he's stumbling because that's how long she says the I thought that was great. I thought that was funny. Well done. Shout out to them for that. Yeah, we turned this thing around. Now something else that no, I didn't find this funny, but at the same time I get it. There's 2 parts to this saga that's going on, and it's funny because this was the time that it got blasted and shown, and there's a video of it. It's talking about Marvin Bagley and the saga with him, the Sacramento Kings. We've talked about it here. You've heard about it, where you know he asked to be traded last year. He did it behind the scenes, not very openly, and then he did it openly. Then he got pops into it. It's been a whole messy situation, so much so where he's only played 10 minutes this season and is only averaging 2 points a game. He has not played since. And for whatever reason, I don't know if they've been trying this each and every game. This is the part I wanted to look up before the show, but I didn't get to find anything. I don't think they've been trying to play him, and he's just been refusing to play. But after they made the decision that they weren't going to start him, that's when Marvin Bagley said, cool, all right, I know where I stand. And he refused not to play. So, of all times, against one of the teams that was, we'll get to that second part first. But first, last night against the Suns, Marvin Bagley, the coaches came over to try and get him to play in the game, to check him into the game. And Bagley looked at him like, what? No. And you could even see that his players, his teammates even have his back. Like, this isn't a Ben Simmons situation. The team has his back because everyone went over and dapped him up like, yeah, nah, you right. Stand your ground, bro. If you don't believe me, watch the video. He's shaking his head because the coach is yelling like, bag. And he's looking at like, no. Yeah, you right. Yes, sir. Rashawn Holmes like, that's right. Stay your ground. It's sad. The assistant coach has to come in and do damage control. Hey, Bag, why didn't you want to go in? Hey, you know I ain't going in there. What you mean? It's been the same thing all season long. Don't come over here with the nice guy act. Sit down. Now, if you can't tell I'm Team Marvin Bagley. There's organizations I cannot stand in Sacramento at the very top of that list for me. And the way that they're handling this and they're making him look like the bad guy, it's crazy to me. And then on top of that, pull a Ben Simmons and not move him. Because the difference between Marvin Bagley and Ben Simmons, I know he has the injuries, but there are teams that would make an offer for Marvin Bagley. I don't know what the hell this organization is doing about it. obviously nothing, but they're gonna obviously make him look like the bad guy in this situation. So I'm team Bag. I would like to see him go somewhere. But other than that, like I said, there was levels to this thing because on top of that whole thing, and this has been going on all season, they were playing against the Suns. They were playing against the Suns in this game, and this Twitter user wanted to shed some light on a further situation with Marvin Bagley and the Phoenix Suns. It said, "Fun fact: he blocked the Suns on every social media account after he didn't go first in the draft. Still blocked to this day. And get it because he blocked because he didn't go out to even play against them." And I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, man, Marvin Bagley saga continues. It's not looking good for the team and the Kings. I don't look, man. People talking about the Kings could be good this year. This, that, that. Miss me all that. Trade Marvin Bagley. Find a situation for him. Get him out of there. But yeah, Jackie, what's your thoughts on him not deciding to not check in, and also what's your thoughts on them trying to make this into a thing by trying to check him in, knowing the situation? Because Bagley, this is not new. He's been doing it all year. He was hurt in the beginning part of the year, but then he came back and he still was not going to play. So what's your thoughts on the fact that the coach had the audacity to even try it, knowing the situation? Like, that's just kind of weird. Like, you're just trying to cover it up like nothing's wrong. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think trying to check him in is strategic because now you're trying to make him, like you said, you're trying to make him look like the bad guy. Like if he stands his ground and says no, it's like, oh, well, see, we tried and he doesn't want. I think you're trying to spin that narrative. And then I saw Luke Walton afterwards. They asked him about it, and they specifically, I don't remember what reporter it was, but specifically asked, like, so did you try to check Bagley in? And he said no. And Luke wouldn't even confirm or deny. He says, Marvin and I are in great communication. Something lame where he didn't even answer the question. And I'm like, dude, you just either say, we're going to work on that internally or whatever, and just say, I don't want to talk about that right now. We've got a lot of things we need to work out, but don't come out here and say like, we're in great communication. We're talking about like, you are not in great communication, because if you were in great communication, y'all would have been done work this out by now. So I definitely think it's time for Bagley to go somewhere else. I don't know how they're going to work this out, but it'll be better for him and definitely better for that organization. Because I think he was 100% right in standing his ground. But either way, you don't want this on your sideline. You just don't want to see something like this.
For sure. So but if it was any other team, I'd care more.
Exactly. It'd be better for everyone, though, if he just goes someplace else. It's just getting ridiculous now.
Oh, that's a good thought, too, to further my agenda. That's very true, Kev. He's saying he would be a great trade with De'Aaron Fox for Ben Simmons and Green. Look at that. Furthering my agenda. Send him over. I would love that. Send him over to. I would, but I wouldn't because we play Philly and it helps him out. But I also like it because then he gets out. So yeah, that's a good thought too. That's a good thought too. I don't know, man, but yeah, that's a very good point. You don't want to see that on your sideline. I get that, but like I said, if it was any other team, I think I care a little bit more. Kings, they can have all the. They're used to disgruntledness. Find another word. I'm gonna add disgruntledness to the dictionary. I don't care. Speaking of disgruntledness, and I'm sticking to it, Scottie Pippen, he been on a tear, and in the words of my man Kev in the chat, he out here trying to sell some books, and he's doing a great job because he is out here saying all kinds of crazy things, and no, not crazy, but he's talking crazy in a sense where he don't care who he offends and who he hurts. He is letting it be known how he feels. So he's been talking about Michael Jordan and how he feels about The Last Dance and why he put it out and how he made him look in it and this and third. And then on his press tour, he had this amazing quote. I want you guys to hear it. Go ahead, Scottie.
I just wanted to let people know and set the record straight that I was as great a player as Michael Jordan. Only one player can take home the MVP, and that's that.
Now, agree or disagree, the fact that he said it is just it's on brand right now, right? Like I said, Scottie is not holding anything back. He is making sure that book sells. I ain't gonna lie, now he's making me want to buy it. I'm out here trying to make sure I get Carmelo's book. I'm trying to get Will's book, and now I gotta go get Scottie Pippen's book because now I need to know what else what other crazy stuff he's out there trying to say. But yeah, Jackie, I know that I know where you land on the GOAT conversation, and I know your opinions on Michael Jordan. So I know you're not gonna have a typical take like that's blasphemous. How could you say that you're as good as Michael? You're gonna have a different take, and I'm really really excited and curious to hear what you have to say about him saying that. Do you agree? Do you what's your thoughts on him speaking the way he's been speaking, and especially saying a quote like that?
I think he's coming from a place where he feels unappreciated. I think that when you take, and I've said this over and over again, people always drag me, but I think if you really look at the situation, Michael Jordan needed Scottie Pippen. We wouldn't be having the conversations about Michael Jordan that we have if he did not play Scottie Pippen. So I think if we would have given Scottie his flowers and would say, yeah, you know, he was a great wingman or whatever, then he wouldn't be talking this way. But I think there's a level of bitterness that he just has right now because he's never been appreciated properly. And I think he's now at the point where he's taking a step back and he can go, you know what? He wouldn't have had all this success that he has without me. Thereby, consequently, I'm going to put myself on his level. Whether I agree with that or not is a totally different situation. But I think he's coming from a place of pain right now. He's just like, y'all going to give me my damn flowers or I'm going to take them.
Any way I can. Right. Yeah, I agree. You know, I'm joking and stuff like that. But whether I agree that, you know, that's debatable. But definitely it's a very much the Dwayne Wade, LeBron James kind of thing. You know that they're both great, but you know who was the better of the two. And it's the same thing with them. But, you know, they definitely complement each other and it worked really well in that run right there, as well as you could say with Kyrie and all that stuff. You know that they're both great, top 75, whatever you want to say. But you know who was the better of the two. So for him to say that was just like that nail in the coffin, like, buy my book. that's how I heard it. I didn't even get mad. I didn't even get outraged. I looked at that. I'm like, yeah, man, Scottie, he needs to get a bonus for how much he's about to sell this damn book because people going to buy it. People going to get crazy, get upset on social media, and that's going to lead to more people being like, Scottie said that? Wait, Scottie did what? Yep. And then Google Scottie Pippen. He got a book? All right, let me check this thing out. Like, I'm telling you, it's all perfectly strategical, and I ain't mad at it. But do I agree? That's a conversation for another day. But let's move on from that to back to the NFL. Another one of my favorite coaches that coaches a team that I can't stand, and that is none other than Mr. Bruce Arians. He was talking about the rumors that Odell could possibly make his way to the Buccaneers. We joked about that as well. You guys joked about that in the chat, and I didn't laugh. Jackie didn't laugh. That's not funny over here. We don't need that. But luckily, Bruce Arians is on our side for now. I don't know if he's trying to cover it up, but he's on our side, thinking that saying that he's not expecting the team to go after OBJ. Yeah, I came out with this quote right here. If I can get that up, you guys can see it. They asked him if they're thinking about going after and making a move for OBJ, and he said, "No, we've got AB. We don't need OBJ. That's too many letters." I was just like,
that's
well done. That's hilarious. Well put together. That's funny, and it's true. That's too. There's like AB in the first place was tiptoeing on that too many chef situation. You got AB, you got Evans, you got my man Chris Godwin, you got Gronk, like you got Leonard Fournette, and you got Ronald back there. Like you got a lot of weapons already. You put OBJ in there, it's too many chefs. So yeah, I think it's smart for them to not do it. And because I actually care about what happens with OBJ, I wouldn't do it. But if I didn't care about OBJ, I'd say do it so he can disrupt what's going on with the team. But I actually care about OBJ, and I want to see him thrive. So don't do it. But I agree with him. I don't think he's capping. I don't think he's trying to hide anything. Jackie, you agree? You think that he's being real and they're not doing it?
I think he's being real. I think yeah. He's exactly like you said. I'm not trying to mess up what we got going on. We got a lot going on. We don't need to add more to that. So we're good over here. No, I think it's smart. And I, like you said, I just want Odell to go someplace where he can actually succeed. I'm still, the Giants are probably still at the top of my list, just because, again, we don't have the money to do it. So I'm anxious to see who's going to end up.
Yeah, they keep leaving us in it. So as long as they leave us in it and I keep seeing our name, even if it's third, fourth spot, as long as our name is in the list, that's all I care about. Like, that means we got a fighting chance.
I have seen another team in the mix and that has crept up to the top of the list. So what do you think about the Rams possibly picking him up?
See, I hate it, but I like it because Rams don't really have a star receiver. Like they have, it's like what Drew Brees has had his entire career. Like he'd have that one guy, the go-to. Before it was my guy, Holston. Now it's Michael Thomas, and then you have assortment of other really good receivers. That's how the Rams are right now. So for that reason, I would like it because that'd be great. He gets to be in LA. I think him and Stafford would be crazy. I think Stafford would unlock his game like crazy. But as a Saints fan and someone who absolutely hates the Rams, I don't want on it because I don't want to have to cheer for anybody in a Rams jersey. But I think football wise, unbiasedly, yeah, that'd be pretty crazy for sure.
Well, I know we're still waiting to see where Odell ends up, but I do have some pretty exciting news to break really quickly. I saw somebody in the chat say it, but the Panthers have announced that they have agreed to terms with Cam Newton. Chris. You know, you just can't write this good. Your reactions be so on point.
Jackie, what did I say not but like 12 minutes ago? I hated Cam Newton on the Panthers.
I know. But is it not kind of nostalgic to see him go back to... I mean, I don't like this. Let me just go on record and say I don't like this because I have been for years saying that the Panthers wore his body down to the ground. And then they were like, okay, we beat you to hell. Now we just going to let you go out here and find yourself somewhere else. So I don't like this because of that, but I'm just glad to see that he is on a roster. I would prefer it not be the
New Orleans. He couldn't come to New Orleans,
which is what I wanted.
But he would actually play right away.
We actually need him in New Orleans, but it still comes down to, and I think we could afford Cam Newton because he was out here working for peanuts.
Do you know the
before.
Price? That's what I was just gonna ask you. Do you know the price in Panthers with the Panthers?
Let me see if I got a number right now. I don't have a number. I will try to find it.
We'll probably find out later.
But yeah, I mean, he was working for peanuts in New England, so I'm sure we could make that work.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Congratulations.
Bad news.
Nostalgia, I guess. Blah blah. Does he get his one? Is anyone wearing number 1? I hope he gets his one, or he fights. No, I don't think anyone's wearing 1.
All right. Yeah, he'll have to get his one back.
Is Darnold hurt? Is he just gonna go there and be a backup? Like that's another thing. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Like you're gonna go back to your old starting grounds and then be a backup? I don't know.
I think this is one of those things where, first of all, we don't know how many people were calling. So if the phone's not ringing off the hook, I think it is a situation where you just take, whatever team comes your way. So let's see. It says his contract is a basic level. It's $3.5 million guaranteed, and it could be worth up to $14 million. So,
good deal. All right,
not horrible.
He has to play, I'm sure.
Oh wait, no, I'm lying. That's not. That was his old contract. Wait.
Oh, I was gonna say he got the same deal. Oh. I'm sure we'll figure that out when it comes out later. But damn.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come out. What did they give him in New England? Like 500,000 that could be up to $1 million. I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a base level minimum contract that could have been more, depending on his play and blah 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 blah. Well, man, all right, cool, fun.
Yep.
Anyways, we move on. Anyways, all right. Last but not least, one of the first stories and things I talked about on the channel when I hosted way back when was about one of my new favorite pastimes, and to this day I still from time to time would check out and see what's going on when there's the highlights. It gets recommended to me all the time, and that is the slapping competitions. I don't know if you saw my man, I forgot his name, but big boy with a beard, my man go out there and he's still to this day taking names and handing out concussions. Well, it's back and it's going on, and there's a female version. I didn't even know that females were doing it as well. They're doing another sport, but that's a conversation for another Fumble video, I'm sure. But I didn't know they were doing slapping competitions as well. And yeah, it's just as brutal. And I'm gonna show it to you. Here's the video.
Wulkan energii, o którym...
Ale oczy otworzyła. Wieża z lewej wali z prawej.
A, to był taka
Aj, poszło.
taka zasłona dymna.
Ale też się wkurzyła. Ale zobacz, jak długo przymierza. Jak niby chce, a jednak się waha. Jak panna
widać,
młoda.
jaką grę tutaj stosuje Ada w stosunku do Julii. Bo
This is the one right here, chat. Here it is.
Teraz na pewno Ada odczuła ten cios od Julii. No,
Teraz lewa, prawa, boom!
Yeah. Before this thing even started, I was gonna take purple hair from the jump. Like, there's no way. She ate all the hits that were given to her, and the other girl, too much reactions. Like, from my experience of watching this damn sport, and I've seen some dudes that they react too much when they get hit. They're the losers. They're going to lose. Using up too much energy. You got to focus on eating the hit and then hitting back. It's a lot to deal with, man. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I ever since that video on the Fumble changed my life. I've been watching it ever since. It's on my recommended, and now I saw this is going on. Crazy stuff. Jackie, would you go out there and slap people up for money?
Yes. I mean, but it would have to be
but you got to get slapped too.
That's fine, but I need a specific list. There are a list of people that if you can pay me to slap them, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be in a perpetual state of duck face, though. That's the thing that I didn't like about that video. The whole time, both of them were like,
yeah, it's the mouth guards. They got crazy fat mouth guards in.
I understand that, but the men have mouth guards too, and I ain't never seen a duck face in the men's competition. So
very true.
What's happening here?
You're right. You're 100%. No, I cannot defend that at all. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, we got to find some enemies. Well, I'm sure Jackie probably has a list in her back pocket of some enemies that we got to. So basically, I got to Don King the situation and put the whole thing together. It's all right. The hair is getting close. I'll figure it out. We'll put an event together. But Jackie Ray, can you tell us on this fine Thursday, the bars are back? What we not gonna do?
Yes, I am so excited to tell you what we're not going to do today, because if you've watched the Fumble Live for any length of time, you know one of my favorite things in the world is crime TV. And every now and then you reach a situation where sports give you something that should be featured on true crime, and this is one of them. For those of you who grew up in the 90s, this is going to sound like a very familiar story, but you know, we bringing it back. We're revamping so much in this world anyway, so we might as well revamp crime. So let me show you this picture, this first young lady. So this is, and I apologize if I'm going to annihilate these names, but this is Kiara Hamaroui. Kiara Hamaroui. She is a French footballer, and she's a midfielder in the Division I soccer team in France. Okay, so this is her. Now she's the starter on that team. So this next young lady is Amita Dalio. So let me show you her next. This is Amita Dalio. She is actually pretty good as well, but she is the backup. She hasn't really got much playing time this season because she's the backup to Kiara. So obviously the two of them are on the same team. They've probably built up some sort of camaraderie or whatever. So there was a team dinner where Amita says, hey, you know, let me drive you home. You know, and she's like, okay, cool. So they jump into the car. And this was last week. They get in the car. They're going home from this team event when all of a sudden a group of men in ski masks accost the car. I love that. Accost the car. And they drag out Hamarui. And they drag out Amita as well. But they drag them both out. Now, they only kind of just detain Amita Dalio. They only detain her. But then Kiara Hamarui, they have metal bars and they bust up her legs and they bust up her hands. So that meant that she was in recovery. So while she was in recovery from those injuries, then Dalio got to take Hamarui's place. And so she was in the starting lineup on Tuesday. They had this huge match against Real Madrid. That's a huge championship match. It's a championship league match. So it's a big deal for her to get that start in that game. Because again, like I said, she'd been the backup this entire time and didn't get, I tried to see if she got any minutes. She didn't get many minutes at all this season. So yay, that's the come up for her. But then now we have a statement that's been released by the team. Paris Saint-Germain can confirm that Amita Dalio was taken into custody this morning by Versailles Regional Police Service as part of the proceedings opened following an attack on the club's players last Thursday. Paris Saint-Germain condemns this in the strongest possible terms, the violence committed. Paris is working with Versailles police to clarify the facts. The club is paying close attention to the progress of the proceedings and will take action. So the claim is that Amita hired the assailants that drug Hamarui out of the car and busted up her legs. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. The fact that Amita walked away with 0 injuries. This is how you know people don't watch crime TV. Because if you're going to commit a crime, you should do at least some research. There is no way nobody wasn't going to raise an eyebrow at this when, first of all, there was no reports of them robbing either one of you. There was no reports of you getting any kind of injuries. I think they said she needed like a couple stitches from a scratch that she had on her arm or something like that. Meanwhile, your girl, and they specifically bust up her legs and her hands. So obviously that was a targeted attack. You wanted to hobble her in some way, and you didn't get any injuries at all. How are people not going to look into that? How are people not going to be suspicious of that? That would have been my first thought. As the coach, as her family, that would have been my first thought, was like, oh, this is a setup. Would I have immediately thought it was the girl that was in the car with me? Yes. And the reason for that is because if it hadn't been her, she would have sustained some injuries as well. At least some injuries that would have probably kept her out of the game as well. There's no way I'm beat to hell and she just walking around here willy-nilly and can all of a sudden take my spot. And the fact that she's my backup, you're the immediate suspect in this situation. Now, for those of you, like I said, if you grew up in the 90s, you feel like that Amita just watched this whole thing that happened between Nancy Kerrigan. Y'all remember the figure skater? So Nancy Kerrigan was, what was her? Tanya Hardin got her ex-husband to go bust up her knees. So it's almost like Amita was watching this because they, every couple years they play that documentary. It's almost like she sat there and watched that documentary and was like, "Ooh, that's a fantastic idea," and skipped over the whole fact where Tanya Hardin got caught. So I don't know what her thought process was in this. I don't know why she thought she was going to get away with this. It boggles my mind. I can't wait to see this documentary come out, or this little mini series come out, because it's coming. But look, if you're going to commit the crime, there's tons of documentaries that you can watch that'll make you go, ooh, maybe that's not my best plan. I'm never going to get away with this. And then you just don't do it. Chris, why do you think she thought that, hey, if I'm in the car with her, but they don't hit me, it's not going to look suspicious? Like, she didn't, why didn't this register with her?
So did they, when did the attack happen? I don't know if you know all this detail, but did they already leave? Or like, did it happen like as soon as they got in the car? I might have missed that part. So
they went out to dinner. Amita asked Hamarui, hey, let me take you home. That's strike number one. You volunteered to take her home.
And they left,
and she was the driver. Amita was the driver. Okay. So they left. Okay. You're driving down the street. At some point, they came to a stop. I didn't see if it was a stop sign, stop light, whatever. At some point, they come to a stop. Okay. And then a group of men come to both sides of the car, drag her out of the passenger side, drag Hamarui out the passenger. Well, it might be in the drive. Their cars is backward over there, but whatever. Drag them both out and then bust up. And that's all they did. They busted up her legs, busted up her hands, and then ran away. Like, at least have them steal some stuff.
Right. That's the thing. You know them. That's what she at least could have done. She got she got to take a hit and then have them take your whole purse or have them take your wallet or something like that, because you're gonna get it back. That's what I was saying. So my initial thought was it happened as soon as they got in the car. Because my thing was like, if that's when it happened, she could have played the classic trick like, oh damn, I think I left my phone inside, and then gone inside, and while she left, then she gets jumped, but she's not there for it to happen. You know what I mean? But if it happened when I missed the part where she had already left, so I got that takes that out of there. But yeah, man, you gotta take a hit. Like, you gotta know that it's gonna be suspicious if you come out there clean. You gotta take a hit. These people. Let them take your phone. Let them take your wallet. You're gonna get them back. So yeah, there's a lot of holes in it. But you also could have not done it at all, because you were gonna get caught. Like Jackie said, there's every show you can watch, you were going to get caught. Tanya, there's a whole movie on her getting caught, and she still tried to play we were divorced. I did not stop. So there's so many ways that could have got handled for sure.
Yeah, and they still. So now here's the other part of it. They haven't found the men who did this. They're about to, because she's about to squeal like a canary just to try to avoid some charges. She's about to name everybody involved, and everybody about to go to jail. Just so you know.
My neighbor told me to do it, and then my ex-boyfriend told me about the two people. Their name is John and Jeremy. Like, she just telling everybody.
Right. She man. Everybody going to jail. So just can't wait to stay up on that and see how this one plays out. But this is going to come out in some sort of docu-series very shortly. But that is all the time we got for today.
Not smart.
Like I said,
okay, how much? Yeah.
Just think it through, people. You're not gonna, and the fact that Anyway, just think it through. There's so many things you can watch that'll help you realize this is a dumb idea. But that's all we got for what we're not going to do. And that's our time for today, you guys. We will be back tomorrow on Friday. I didn't say it the whole day, Chris. I didn't call it.
You did.
I won't. I'm not.
You called it Thursday. Yep.
Called it Thursday. Stay with that energy. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you haven't hit that notification bell, make sure you do that because we do have more content coming out later today. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Bye.
Bye.